I really want to get your perspective on transition.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like just globally at this point, we're all going through transition with the pandemic and transitioning to life, in lockdown and now coming out of it.
Right.
So I really want to get your perspective on this and how we can face life in that period of transition and be encouraged and not succumb to just how heavy it can feel at sometimes.
Right. I think that the biggest thing about transition, and you use the word transition, but I interpret it as change.
Mm-hmm.
It's change.
Yeah.
From one plane of existence to another plane of existence. From one normal to a new normal.
Right.
Those transitions, I think the best way to face any transition is to focus, like the hymn writer says, build your hopes on things eternal.
Mm-hmm.
The hymn says, time is filled with swift transition.
Yes.
Naught of earth or move can stand. Build your hopes on things eternal.
Mm-hmm.
Hold the God's unchanging
Mm-hmm.
hand. So, I think the story that him is trying to get us to understand is that our lives are going to constantly be changing,
Mm-hmm.
because that is a part of us existing in time.
Yeah.
Time has a way of taking us on journeys and, taking us on adventures or transitions that seem tumultuous at times.
Mm-hmm.
We like to be comfortable. We like to have something that's constant, but unfortunately, there's not much in life that is constant.
Right.
So we need to fall back on our faith.
Mm-hmm.
We need to fall back on the fact that God is a constant God who will guide us through these changes.
Yeah.
So whenever the world seems like you don't recognize it, look to God.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at him, you'll see that he's constant.
Right.
And through him, you'll find a revelation of where you're supposed to be in that position.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think one of the problems about transition, too, is when we go from one position to the next position, we don't know where we fit in.
Right.
We feel out of place,
Mm-hmm.
because where we were, we felt like we had a good,
control.
We had control. We were in a good stance. We had our position. We knew what was coming, and we knew, what was behind us. But when you get to that new space, you got to learn how to trust God, who is constant.
Yeah.
God doesn't change. His word doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
So seek him to figure out where you're supposed to be and how you fit into this new place and in this new space.
Mm-hmm. So in 9, 10, 15 years, what do you hope to achieve or accomplish in that time?
All right. I would like to get my kids out of my house.
Uh-huh.
I would like for them to be gone.
All 5 of them?
All 5. What you said, 10, 15 years? Oh, I'll still have. Oh God.
It's okay.
I'll have a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old. But no, I definitely want to be at a place, because I don't necessarily, my life has been so unpredictable
Mm-hmm.
that I make plans and I kind of have things in the back of my mind, but but they're never solidified,
Mm-hmm.
because I know God has a tendency to say, okay, I want you to do this. I want you to do that. So I don't really make plans, career plans. I have things that I want to get done. Of course, I want to record an album, which we're already working on.
Cool.
I would like to, kind of dive more into the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe produce a show or two,
Cool.
a musical show,
Yeah.
write something.
Yeah.
I told you I love stories.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe write something for TV or something like that. But I'm more concerned about spiritual goals.
Yeah.
I have things in my mind that I want to accomplish spiritually. One of my problems is patience.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I don't have patience with people.
I'm guilty all the way of not having enough patience. So I hear you.
Right. I think that's one of all of it, and I think we have impatience in different areas. So my problem with patience is when it comes to understanding the lessons of my experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get to the point where, like Solomon, I can look at a situation and understand what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I want to have that wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And, there are things wisdom that you get just by experience.
Yeah.
I kind of want to bypass that. I need wisdom now, Lord. And so that's one of the places that I want to get to. I really want to be able to look at a situation and be able to, I'm talking about from a spiritual aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I want to look at a situation and be able to understand what the takeaway should be, what maneuvers that I should make, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
In about 10, 15 years, I want to be a wise guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not a wise guy, but a wise guy.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if I'm there, then all of the other plans, all of the other goals that I have, I'll reach.
Yeah. It'll just all fall into place.
It'll fall into place.
Yeah.
I think wisdom is the best thing. Even wisdom in dealing, like, I really have that prayer of Solomon. Like, I want to be wise. I want to be patient. Especially when it comes to the people of God,
right?
To know how to lead them, to know where to take them, to know what is needed in a given situation, to know what's needed the next time something like a pandemic rolls around.
Yeah.
I want to have that wisdom, that
Right.
Sophia wisdom that comes from the Spirit of God.
Cool. So now, just thinking in this role as minister of music, where do you see this ministry going? And how do you see it growing in the next few years?
Well, I think one of the things that one of the aspects of modern culture that I am inherently, I have an adverse reaction to it, is the disillusion of choirs. Like, I don't understand why so many churches are letting go of choirs.
Yeah.
Like, I love choral music. I love choral music. And it's one of the ways that, like I said before, engages the congregation in a greater level.
Right.
It's when you have the praise team out in front, it oftentimes becomes a concert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not to say that they don't do their job. Of course they do their job. We're effective. Have no problem with that. But when there's a choir up here, for some reason, I guess the congregation sees themselves up here.
Yeah.
And then when we tell the choir to quiet, the congregation can sing. And it's
the collective,
right? It's reflective. The choir is reflective of the congregation, and the congregation is reflective of the choir. They should be able to see themselves in it, in each other. So one of the things that I want to do is grow the choirs. I think that's one of the hallmarks of Bethany. You guys are known for your choirs. So we definitely, when we get back into the sanctuary, I want to grow the choirs. But I also want to expand and build on the musical repertoire that we have here.
Yeah.
And bring original material to the church. Things that are, not that I've written, not original music that's original to Tyrus, but music that is organically and spontaneously developed in worship services.
Yeah.
I think that when you create music in a worship service that was birthed out of the hearts and the spirits of the people who were in that worship service, I think that has a greater impact.
Yeah, it hits at a different level.
Right. People begin to sing to themselves and they begin to minister to themselves where we become obsolete. You know what I mean? When we can get the congregation to be able to minister to themselves, then we become obsolete. And again, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's like in Ephesians where it talks about we should be able to communicate with each other through psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs. But I should be able to communicate with myself, for my mouth to tell my spirit, or for my heart to tell my mind. I sound crazy, but I get it.
All.
It makes sense up here. And when y'all see it,
it will all come into, we'll get
together.
We'll get it. So the other day you were here with your family and you were over there by the piano and I heard you playing music from Toy Story.
Yeah.
So I thought, wow, that's so great. Like, that your kids are exposed to you being able to play, like,
Yeah.
extremely well on the piano. So I'm imagining that they might be musically inclined too, or at least have that ear because they hear it from you all the time.
Yeah. So they all can sing a little.
Mm-hmm.
They have talent that could be developed, but I
Mm-hmm.
think because I've had to, pull them along with
Yeah.
me on my
And
many
that's what my question
excursions.
was,
Yeah.
like, or is that something that you hope that they kind of get into, or?
I want what God wants for them. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I would never push it on them. I
Yeah.
know, some of my friends, everybody in my house has to learn how to play the piano.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. If they want to learn, I'll
Yeah.
gladly teach them, or I'll connect them with somebody who will teach them.
Right.
But my daughter, she has it. She
Yeah.
has it. So I want that for her because she is. I don't. You were here,
Mm-hmm.
and while you were setting up, she's just, she's on stage.
She's a star.
Yeah,
She's a
she's
star.
Princess Tiana, and she's, singing her songs or whatever. So she and I, we work together because she expressed interest to me
Mm-hmm.
that she wants to get in it. My other son does play drums a little
Cool.
bit, and my middle son, he likes to sing. But Tylee,
Mm-hmm.
y'all not ready for Tylee. Y'all not ready for
Watch
her.
out, world. Watch
Right.
out.
That same song, that Toy Story song,
Mm-hmm.
I have a video of her and myself singing that song for her birthday
That's
a
precious.
couple of years ago. Yeah.
Aww. So you stated on your website that we are all blessed to be a blessing, which is why you use your gifts to initiate change, inspire hope, and impact lives in the name and power of Jesus. So I want you to speak on that. Speak to a person who might be at the beginning of their journey, whether in music or just in life or in ministry, who has the gift, but might be a little bit scared or afraid to actually act on it.
Right. Right. I think, one of the things about walking in your purpose is that if it's a divine purpose,
Mm-hmm.
it is meant to impact lives. It is meant to help people. It is meant to minister to people. And I think that if you only want to do this for your own personal gain or
Mm-hmm.
your own personal aggrandizement, it's
Mm-hmm.
never going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that's successful, and this is across the board,
Mm-hmm.
any business that's successful is a business that helps people in a specific way.
Okay.
Amazon is the best and the
Mm-hmm.
biggest company out there,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they meet the needs of people. And look, I need my stuff tomorrow.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So get it here tomorrow.
Yep.
And they make sure that you get it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are a worship leader, or if you are a singer, if you're an artist or a musician, or, work in social media or whatever you're doing, if it is your true purpose and your true calling, it should be to impact somebody's life
Mm-hmm.
in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
It should be able to help them out in a specific way. Whatever we do, especially when we're doing it for God, it should be to, again, help reconcile the creation back to the Creator.
Yeah.
So if you have any other motives, if you have any other desires other than that, you check it out. Bishop Rance Allen said to me, so you want to be a gospel singer? I said, yeah, I want to be. He said, no. Do you want to be a gospel singer? Because you can be a singer,
Right.
but do you want to be a gospel singer? Because when you're a gospel singer, there's another level of responsibility that comes with that, because we're not singing for ourselves.
Right.
We're singing for the benefit of God's people so that we can enlarge the kingdom.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Minister Tyrus, for that conversation. Really, I cannot wait to see where we're going to go from here, and the music we're going to create, where the kids are going to be in the next 15 years.
Right.
And just to see, I know you said you want to become a wise man, but I can already tell you're already well on your way there.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So thank you for this conversation. And